Hey guys, just on the way to my casino. So yeah, I was waiting for this poker vlog. In general, I don't really plan on discussing much poker, but it's more just, me driving to the casino, talking about what's on my mind. And yeah, there'll be a little bit of poker, but it's more just me kind of, I guess doing video journal and just talking about, how things are going, what I'm up to, and yeah, so whatever. So anyways, for this video, I was thinking, so when I'm playing on, the other day I was playing online, and when I'm playing online, I often sit there with a notepad in front of me, and there wasn't much action, so I was kind of bored. And then I randomly was just thinking, what are my favorite movies? So I wanted to make a list of my favorite movies. So anyway, I came up with 12, I put down all my favorite movies, and I ended up with 12 movies. So I put them in a list, my top 12 favorite movies, and I just put them in alphabetical order. So the first one is Bugsy. So that's about Bugsy. It's a movie about Bugsy Siegel, who the main character is Warren Beatty. And so the movie's, it's about the mobsters who started Las Vegas. So Bugsy was big. Bugsy Siegel was a big part of that. And I guess the movie's about them building the Flamingo, which eventually led to the Strip and made gambling and hotel casinos popular in Las Vegas. The movie's really entertaining. I found it pretty funny too. The other guys who are good in that movie too is Ben Kingsley plays Meyer Lansky, and Harvey Keitel plays Mickey Cohen. So it's pretty good time, and also there's a big part of that movie where it's a romantic aspect because Warren Beatty falls in love with this character of Virginia Hill, who's played by Annette Bening. So the whole movie I find entertaining, and I've watched it many times, probably at least 10 times. Definitely one of my favorite movies. Yeah, also for this list, all the 12 movies are all movies that I've watched many times. So I find, they're all movies that I love watching over and over. And I find that's a big part of, the qualification has to be a movie that I want to watch over and over, not just one time, right? So next on my list is Coming to America with Eddie Murphy. Yeah, that's a pretty awesome movie. I find most Eddie Murphy, a lot of Eddie Murphy things I find really hilarious. That movie's good from beginning to end. There's kind of plenty of hilarious scenes, quotable scenes. Obviously, I love the barbershop scene. And yeah, that whole movie's pretty awesome. Again, right, another movie I've watched probably at least 10 times. Next on the list is Django Unchained. For Quentin Tarantino movies, they're all pretty good, but I guess that one would be my favorite one. Also for that movie, I find the whole movie beginning to end, I was just having a lot of fun. It was a really good time. Also that movie has a great soundtrack. So I remember a lot of times I would just listen to the soundtrack of that movie, which was really awesome. And then, Jamie Foxx was awesome in it, Leonardo DiCaprio, all the other characters, Samuel Jackson. Actually, there's a scene in that movie too. One of my favorite scenes is he's killing a bunch of the, the bad guys on the slave plantation. And he's about to kill the last one. I think it was maybe the Brittle brothers or something. And then he says he's about to kill one last one, and the slaves are all looking, and he says, "Yo, we'll see some." But he does it really cool, just "Yo, we'll see some," and before he does the kill. And I always thought that was hilarious, and then I used to do that quote a lot. Maybe I'd be playing basketball and I'd have the game point, and before I took my game-winning shot, I'd be like, "Yo, I want to see some," and then I would hit the game, try and hit the game-winning shot. But actually, I have a funny story. I was in Vegas once, and so I was leaving the next day, and usually when I'm in Vegas, I keep my my money in chips, right? So I just had I have a little coin purse or something, and I'd have I think I had 5K chips in my little bag there. So I had 25K in chips, right? So I went to cashier, got my cashed in my chips. So I had 25,000 cash, and I was heading to my safe deposit box. And then as I was leaving the poker room, I saw a bunch of girls, 4 girls dressed to go to the club. That's near that poker room there in Bellagio. I think it's called the Bank. So the 4 girls are going to the club, and then I'm kind of walking towards them as I leave the poker room. And I just went up to one of them and was like, "Yo, I want to see some?" And I just took out my 25K cash, put it in her hand, And she was pretty shocked and I guess happy, and I thought it was pretty hilarious. And then yeah, I had to take the money back, and the woman was like, "Oh, you're such a tease," and I thought it was pretty funny. Anyway, next on my list is Goodfellas. That's a classic movie. I feel like that's one of those movies that most guys love. So yeah, whatever. Obviously, great movie. Joe Pesci, De Niro, Ray Liotta. whatever. Everyone loves that movie. I feel like there's not much to say about that movie. It's a pretty popular movie. Next on my list is History of Violence. So that's a movie not many people know about, but it's really awesome. So it's with Viggo Mortensen, and again, from the beginning to the end, the whole movie is really entertaining. It really kind of just like, it really kind of, like draws you in and makes you like really interested in the characters. And the whole, I mean, whatever, I guess like spoiler alert, because I don't want to give too much away, but the first time I saw, so spoiler alert now, the first time I watched the movie, so it's like the main character, you know, he's some guy in like the middle of nowhere, small town family, owns a little coffee shop, and you know, two criminals break in. They're about to kill everyone in the coffee shop and rob them, and he just reacts and, you know, kills both of the bad guys. And it's like pretty impressive how, like, you know, fast and whatever quick he reacts, and how good he was at, you know, like stopping them and killing both of them. And everyone kind of talks about him as a hero. The news kind of covers it, how this small town guy is a hero and saved everyone. But then it turns out what actually happened is like 20 years ago, he was in the mob and he killed someone he wasn't supposed to, and he just went on the run. So essentially he was like, you know, I think it was in Philadelphia. So he was from Philadelphia, and then he went on the run, went to some town in the middle of nowhere, like started a whole new life, new identity. And then the mob comes looking for him because they find out 20 years later where he is, because they see him on TV. And they keep telling everyone like, oh, this guy's an ex-mobster, and no one believes it. You know, he keeps saying like, I don't know who you're talking about, but whatever. The movie gets interesting, and eventually has to go and fight the mob, and whatever. It's a really awesome movie. So Viggo Mortensen, the girl, the woman, his wife in it is Mario Bello. Ed Harris is in it. But yeah, really good movie. I highly recommend it. One of my favorites, and two I've watched many times. Next on the list is Hulk. So it's Hulk 2003. So in 2003 they made the movie Hulk, you know, Marvel and everything, but it wasn't that popular back then, and I guess a lot of people thought it was a bad movie or something. But I watched it like 5 years ago, and I thought it was awesome. And then I actually bought it on YouTube, so I could just watch it over and over. And my son, who's 3 years old, he loves Hulk. It's him, Hulk, all the time. He goes as Hulk when it's Hulk for Halloween. He still wears this like Hulk costume all the time. And so watching that movie with him was pretty fun. But yeah, I loved that movie, and I bought it on YouTube, and I rewatch it lots of times. The whole movie's good. It's a really well done superhero movie. Eric Bana plays the main character. Jennifer Connelly's in it. The guy Sam Elliott, you know, that guy there with a really deep voice. He plays like the army general. And then Nick Nolte plays Hulk's father, who ends up being the bad guy. But yeah, the whole movie is really interesting and really entertaining. 1 second here. So next on my list is The Mask with Jim Carrey. So yeah, I remember I saw that movie when I was a kid, maybe like 10 years old. Really loved it. And then I didn't see it for a while. But I remember thinking like, oh, I loved that movie so much as a kid. I wonder if it's like still a good movie, because I feel like there's movies you see as a kid, you love them, and then you're an adult and you're like, oh, let me like watch this movie that I used to love as a kid, and then you watch it as an adult and it's just like terrible, and you're like, oh, that movie was actually awful. But so yeah, I watched it as an adult and I was like, oh, this movie actually was amazing. I'm like, yeah, this is an awesome movie. So yeah, I've rewatched it many times. Jim Carrey's hilarious in it. I like the bad guys, like the story. The whole movie is entertaining, beginning to end. Also, Cameron Diaz too in that movie is so beautiful. I remember too, as a kid, I think Cameron Diaz was like my first like, you know, celebrity crush. I remember I think I was like 10 years old. I saw it, and, you know, I thought Cameron Diaz was so beautiful. Next on my movie is Money Talks. So yeah, that's probably one of my favorite movies on this list. It's with Chris Tucker and Charlie Sheen. It's really hilarious. I highly recommend it. I don't know, just beginning to end, Chris Tucker's just, he's really like so funny, and he just made me laugh so many times in that movie. There's a few scenes in that movie that are really just hilarious. And yeah, that movie too I bought on YouTube, and I just rewatch it all the time, and I think it's a really awesome movie. So yeah, I highly recommend Money Talks with Chris Tucker. Next on my list is Nutty Professor. So Nutty Professor, Eddie Murphy, another great Eddie Murphy movie. That movie too, so hilarious, non-stop laughing. But it was also really well done. I feel like that movie too had like a lot of heart. The story really comes together well. Yeah, it was like a good movie. You know, like has kind of like, you know, gives you a lot of emotions, makes you laugh a ton. Dave Chappelle was in it too. He had a really funny scene, I found. Yeah, Eddie Murphy is really good. Next on the list is Rocky. Whatever, if you're into sports or boxing, I think most people love Rocky. Whatever, all the Rocky movies are okay, I guess. The first one's obviously the best. I mean, I think it's definitely the best one. And yeah, Sylvester Stallone was awesome. Carl Weathers was awesome. It's a great movie, obviously. Very inspirational. I'm sure I've seen that movie at least 10 times, right? Next on my list, next on my list is Terminator 2. So yeah, I mean, definitely into action movies, and that's probably the best action movie that I can think of. Terminator 2 was awesome as a kid. You know, I loved it, and then, I mean, you know, I've seen it many times as an adult. It's great too. Schwarzenegger's awesome in that movie. The action scenes are awesome. The bad guy's awesome. Edward Furlong, who played John Connor as a little kid, I thought he was really good in it. You know, great actor for, you know, definitely did a great job as a kid actor. And then Linda Hamilton, you know, Sarah Connor, she was obviously really amazing in that. I mean, whatever, the whole movie is just an awesome movie, and yeah, I'm sure everyone has their favorite scenes from that movie and all those favorite quotes like "I'll be back" and "Hasta la vista, baby" and all that stuff. Great movie. Finally, last movie on my list is Training Day. I just passed a pretty sweet Lincoln Town car there. That's pretty nice. Sorry. Last on my list is Training Day. Denzel. Whatever, you can't go wrong with Training Day. I'm sure a lot of people love that movie too. Great quotes. The Denzel speech there at the end is pretty awesome. Actually, I remember when I was with my wife. We first started dating. She pretty much only spoke French at the beginning. She didn't really speak much English. I was talking to my wife, and she was coming over to meet my parents for dinner. I said to her, you know, do you speak any English? And then she just went directly to quoting the Denzel speech from Training Day. You know, she's went, okay, all right, I'm putting case, and she just did the whole speech, and it was pretty hilarious. And I was like, oh yeah, you should say that when you meet my parents. That should be the first thing you say when you meet my parents. But yeah, pretty funny. So yeah, so that's my list, top 12 favorite movies. All of them are very good, very rewatchable, and yeah, they're all just like entertaining, fun, good time movies. And yeah, with great acting too. If I had to say what my favorites are, tough to pick the favorites, but I would say Bugsy, Money Talks, History of Violence. Those would probably be the three that stand out a lot. And maybe Django as well. I would say so. Maybe those four. But anyway, so the whole list was Bugsy, Coming to America, Django Unchained, Goodfellas, History of Violence, Hulk, The Mask, Money Talks, Nutty Professor, Rocky, Terminator 2, and Training Day. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed that. Alright, so anyways, right now, just downtown Montreal, driving to casino. Should be there in about 15 minutes. I was thinking too for my vlogs. I mean, I was looking at other people's poker vlogs. I mean, obviously they have poker, mine doesn't, but it seems like they're all around, you know, 15 to 20 minutes long. So I'm trying to keep my vlogs around that time length as well. What else has been going on? Oh yeah, last time I went to the casino, I had to leave early for a dinner. I only ended up playing 3 hours. But so this time I can play for pretty much as long as I want. So I'd like to have a nice long session, ideally, and, you know, hopefully play well, run well, try and take some breaks too. I mean, I always think that's good if you're trying to play long sessions, you know, take a break every, you know, maybe every 2-3 hours or something. Walk around a bit or whatever. So yeah, hopefully I can run well. Put in the comments how I end up doing. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to talk about. What else is on my mind for today? I don't know, weather's nice and stuff. Actually, I played basketball yesterday with my brother for the first time in a while. It's pretty awesome. Oh yeah, another thing too. I feel like with basketball, so I played a lot as a kid, and now against an adult, it's definitely, I mean, I'm 30, almost 36, and like, it's definitely a lot less fun considering there's like no jumping now when I play. You know, to play basketball without jumping isn't the same. But I have realized that playing in a park, because I have a really nice basketball court next to my house, in the park nearby. And I do find playing in a park is really nice. I don't really play basketball in a gym, like at gyms anymore. I feel like when you play in gyms, you run into like, you know, a lot of like 20 and 18-year-olds. It's not fair. Games always get too intense. It's like too hard on the knees and everything. But yeah, so I really do enjoy playing in a park, and I'm gonna go there a lot during this summer. It's a good workout. And yeah, everything else going well. Had a pretty shitty week online grinding, but it happens. Ran pretty bad, so hopefully I can run good. Hopefully I can run good live today at the casino. Yeah, I guess that's all for today. See, I'll be, anyways, hope everything goes well, guys. Hope you're having a good weekend. And, yeah, that's it for today. All right, see you guys. Bye.